You know how stupid I am, dude? I've been talking to the chat for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh, we're at 13 viewers. We're stuck at 13 viewers. And then I look at it, and it says go live, and I'm not live yet. And I really just listened to a bunch of voicemails for no reason. That's kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie. Kind of crazy I did that, huh? Well, here's the voicemails that I played. Hello.
Hey, Jolah.
Howdy, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? So on the screen, I see Dictator Trump and Trump loves war. Which one are we doing?
Something fell behind me. I had to go look at it.
Oh, there's no
Okay, so
video
Trump
happened.
is a dictator. Trump using the National Guard for LA and the Marines is crazy and authoritarian move. Trump with Iran is pretty bad. Bypassing Congress, possibly. Well, I mean, he is bypassing Congress, but he's going through Israel to do it. Right now, at least. So there's a couple different things we can go off of.
So that means we're going with loves war, I guess,
Trump
in
loves
general?
chaos. Trump loves
But
fighting. Trump
that's a
loves
big
violence.
statement.
Yeah, Trump loves violence and
So,
chaos. Yeah, he loves
all
those
right, so
things at
he
least.
loves, like, do you think he personally loves them, or are you just saying like that his, like, because that would be a really huge statement, or are you just saying that his policy is like,
No,
you
Trump
know,
loves anything that benefits him, and the things that benefits him are barbaric violence and chaos. He thrives in that world where
okay.
no one makes any sense.
So, and just so I'm clear, you're saying that he's self-interested, and if it happens to involve chaos, that's a path he's fine with, but he's not like a sadist or anything. Or do you actually think he like literally loves war?
No, he
Like he's
wants
like,
more
let's do
power,
an
more
extended war.
influence. He'll do anything to get more power and influence. If he could be anti-war and get more power, he'll do that. If he could be pro-war and get more power, he'll do that. So like right now, the neocons and Israel are fighting the populist, isolationist parts of MAGA to try and get Trump's good side. He's like a narcissistic baby. They try to say good things about him, like, oh, Trump is so good. He's so smart. Oh, I know Trump is going to make the right decision. He was sent here by God to save us. Everyone says that because they know if they compliment him, he might be on their side. So yeah, it is self-interest. I don't think he cares about how he achieves the end, but he will get to the end of being adored and having attention for sure.
I actually think that's a pretty light statement. I mean, if I'm being honest, I feel like that just describes like the vast majority of politicians, including like liberal and Republican,
I highly
and the vast
disagree.
majority of high performers too.
Well,
Like I think
no,
that's Joe
there's levels to
Biden,
it
that's
though. There's levels
Obama,
to
that's
narcissism. You
Clinton
could,
for
I mean,
sure.
you can say everyone's Hitler too, but like there's very key nuances. Like for example, Joe Biden did not
Wait,
send in
wait,
the
wait,
National
wait, wait,
Guard and
wait, wait.
Marines to militarize an American city like Trump is doing right now with LA and seek to
But
liberate the
wait, can
city
we
from the
stop? Because I
people
don't.
of the city.
Sure, I think that is a. We can go to that example in a second. But I don't think that my comparison is anything like saying people are Hitler at all. I think that's a kind of slippery slope. So I don't want to like concede that slope,
Okay,
you know.
okay. Well, let's
'Cause
say like politicians are
I,
self-serving. Democratic politicians are
yeah,
better at policy and everything because their incentives, and there's some good people in politics for sure. There are some. But yeah, their incentives are going to
I
be
think
better
there
because
are a
their
few.
voters have better
I think it's
incentives. So
really
like,
I think it's really few and far between. I think they're on the right and left. Like I think John McCain was a really good example of somebody that was principled, regardless of if you believe in his principles. He did have principles. Like I wouldn't say that he's like just power hungry.
I mean, like Joe
And there are
Biden,
people that are just,
what Joe Biden did with unions and the Chips and Science Act and all these things are really good policies. I don't care how he got to them. But like, you can
yeah,
also
but Joe
play a
Biden's
hand in
also
shifting public
definitely power
opinion.
hungry. He's like a
Okay,
model of power hungry.
but you can be an altruistic narcissist, and I don't think Trump is. I don't think Trump cares about any human suffering at all. I think Biden does have a soul. I don't
Wait,
think Trump does.
you can be an altruistic narcissist?
Yeah, for sure, you can be. You could be someone who wants
I
power
think that
because you
would be
think,
really
like Jesus was probably
like
a narcissist. Well, Jesus
maybe
was.
theoretically.
To think you are the chosen one that you should be running for Senate or the presidency, you have to be a little bit of a narcissist, even if you're a good person. Like you need to be to have that much sense
Do
of
you?
self.
Do you think
Yeah,
Nelson Mandela was a
100%.
narcissist?
Who?
Nelson Mandela?
Yeah, for sure. I think they have a heightened sense of self that calls them to leadership. And these are like psychological
I
terms, so
don't
it's
think
hard
that
to
that's the
say.
definition
Do
of a
you mean
narcissist.
psychological? Well, a higher sense of self and thinking you are the right person for the job and thinking you are right. Like, so you could be saying you are the only person that can lead a homeless shelter and no one else can do it as good as you. And like, you have this infallible ability to do it and no one should infringe upon that. And if someone does, you get really mad at them. And you could be like, you could be really disconnected from common human emotion, but still do good things. That is a
You
thing.
could, you could, but like, okay, and so generally a clinical narcissist, it would be really hard for them to do that. I think that I don't know if we have an example of somebody that maybe a few, but it would be really hard because they're just so the kind of the definition of being a clinical narcissist is that you get in your way with it. You know what I mean? Like you kind of, if it's not getting like if it's not impeding your life that bad, you're not probably clinically significant. So
It's probably a
I don't
different
know if I
word
agree
for it.
there, man.
So like an inflated sense of self is definitely needed, but like a narcissist has zero ability to identify other human emotions. So I think Trump is definitely a narcissist. Like
Wait.
categorically.
That's not a narcissist either. I think that's a psychopath that you're getting mixed up with
But
there,
no,
buddy.
narcissists do have a lot of sociopathy. Like they do have a lot of a lack of
I
empathy
think there's
and a
some
lack of compassion.
I think there's some overlap. I think that like a good percentage of them have each other, but I also think that
Like
they're
many
distinct.
narcissists will do anything to get notoriety and social status and influence, and I think Trump definitely falls into that category. I've never seen him like he made fun of. He said he's happy Biden has cancer. He refused to say anything about the Democrat that got murdered, assassinated a few days ago. Trump does not give a shit about human beings. There's no indication ever of Trump having true emotion caring about another person.
I actually do think that Trump might have so and you said yourself like you could have narcissistic personality disorder and on the whole be a good person. Like I think that Trump actually might have narcissistic personality disorder. Um, but I don't think that Trump loves war. I
Power
don't
can
think
make
that he's
you
been
weird too. So like for Biden, like if you look at Biden's life, his like entire family died, and then his son served and got brain cancer and died. Like Biden's been through a lot of shit. So I think when it comes to
so
politicians, he's actually a pretty decent person. But the office of the presidency and the world in general at that leadership position, like you have no choice but to do some things that are bad as president. It's just kind of how it is.
well
It's not good, but
maybe I should qualify why I think Biden is power hungry and a narcissist. It's
well, he ran
basically because
again.
of what he did in the Senate and in Congress. So he basically flip flopped on issues regarding black people, regarding prison, regarding a lot of those issues that had nothing to do with his personal life at all. And so that shows me that he was willing to toe whatever line he would like in order to get elected and reelected. And I mean, I'm not saying that that's a big statement either, because that's basically being the job
I
of
mean,
being a
I'm fine with that
politician.
though. Like, if Biden's gonna go from being like, some of his rhetoric's not perfect on racial issues, but then he's talking about like racial justice in 2020. I think it's okay to have an evolution like that. Like Biden was anti-gay marriage for a long time, and then he was pro-gay
Oh,
marriage, which I think is a good thing.
it's not just not perfect. It's like he put like a lot of black people in prison. He like really advocated for strong
Black people
penalties
supported the
for
crime bill. Most black people supported the crime bill too at that time. Most black people wanted the crime bill. Biden's very popular with black people for a reason.
I mean,
And it's
the
not just
results.
Obama, but
I think that he knew. I mean, I think that the results spoke for themselves, and I think,
there is
moreover,
no flip
I think that
flopping there though. There's no
literally
flip
one
flopping on
point
that
that
issue.
if I could get a word in. Moreover, I think that the issue we're actually talking about here is he just politically self-motivated? And I think it's pretty obvious that Biden is.
Biden at
Like
that time represented
he
his
just
voters
chose
good
whatever
though.
political line.
No, but
Like,
he represented his voters
do you
well though.
actually believe that there exists a man that like his political beliefs aligned with what was politically convenient for 40 years straight? Like that's a little suspicious, isn't it?
If you have a job where you represent people, I think it's good for you to change some positions over time. I think it's fine to have positions that you change on. I think it's fine to anyone that is like, oh, I'm so principled, I'm never going to change my opinion no matter what my constituents say. That's not your job as a representative. Your job is to represent them
Yeah.
as best as possible to make good decisions. And if you change positions, I think it's fine to move with public opinion. I think that is fine. The outcomes
I
do
think you're
matter,
right,
and
and
like
I think that brings us right back to the fact that Trump's actions aren't really that out of the norm. I don't think that they really are. Like
okay, so
you
with
basically
ICE in
mentioned everything
America,
that you've mentioned could be turned right back around, and
nope,
you just
nope,
said
not
that like
everything,
in the
not everything,
presidency you
nope,
have to do things
nope.
that are naturally very
January
difficult.
6th. Okay, I'll give it a quick little list. Okay, so January 6th, still denying the 2020 election, is categorically new. It's a new phenomenon in America. Anyone who did that in the past 100 years would have been kicked out of America. Like they would have been. I don't know what would have happened to. I don't know what would have happened. No, okay. Are you brain dead?
Well, probably what did
If you
happen.
think
Probably what did happen.
2000 were drawn out court cases, and then Al Gore conceded without pushing even further. Donald Trump brought a riot to the Capitol, and still today says he won after he got blown out. Right?
Wait. 1 second. A moment ago, you said nobody ever denied an election, and then you just said that Al Gore
No one
drew it out
denied
in
the
court,
2020.
which
No
he
one
did.
denied the 2000 election.
He did draw it out in the courts, which is a form of doing that, and he did.
Yeah, that's
do it in front
fine.
of the American
Doing the
public.
legal methods are fine.
Now he conceded eventually.
Yeah, he
and I
conceded
actually
once
do
the
think-
legal methods were
I do think
exhausted.
that
That's not
Joe
in any way
Biden-
similar to Donald Trump in 2020. Donald Trump tried to seize voting machines. Donald Trump tried to overturn the electors. Donald Trump brought a riot to the Capitol, and he was laughing as people yelled, "Hang Mike Pence."
It's hard when you go rapid fire. I think that just makes it difficult for.
Yeah, I'm talking fast because you don't let me get full points out. I said I was going to give a little list of things, and you stopped me halfway through the first one.
I'll try to be a little bit more lenient. That's fair enough. I could take that feedback. That being said, if you could do the same, I'd appreciate it.
Comparing 2020 to 2000 is one of the most brain dead takes you could possibly have.
Okay, that was just mean.
It really is, though. I'm sick of people playing dumb and acting like this shit's normal. Trump denying Supreme Court cases, like Trump refusing to listen to the Supreme Court on Abrego Garcia, for example, is new. That's a new thing.
There's definitely a parallel there. I don't think that it's the exact same thing for 2000 and 2020. There's definitely a parallel to.
There is no parallel at all there.
Based on the statement that you said. And by the way, this all started with you saying that Trump loves war, right? So we've already came back all the way to here, and I just want to remind you that how exactly did we get here? Because it seems like you kind of ran
because we started talking about the nature of
bit.
politicians being self-serving. We went to a different conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah, because we went to a different conversation.
No. I think it was because I think it was evident that what you said is true, and that politicians are self-serving by their nature, and you can't
Not
really
all
make
politicians.
a sweeping statement. We did agree on that, but
like some politicians resign. Some politicians resign, right? They resign in some situations. Nixon resigned. So some politicians do dive out.
My statement was by their nature, and I think that you agreed with that. I think that you said by their nature.
By their nature does not make sense as a blanket statement. I just said that politicians could operate in that way. I said some are good people. And there's different incentives for them to act certain ways. Then he said all politicians are the same.
We just had a full conversation about
okay.
How
are we gonna have a conversation, or are you gonna keep on just like butting in? We could hit full points, or we can't. Like I don't know what you want to do.
I think that we both have an impression that we're both talking more than we are. So maybe we just continue. But I do think that you admitted, and we both talked about a moment ago, that politicians are incentivized to switch their views because they want to stay in office, and they have a self-serving incentive scheme, and that makes it very difficult to tell any politician's true intentions, right?
You could tell a lot of politicians' intentions. You could tell a lot of politicians' intentions or what they're going to do based off prior actions, based off public opinion, based off of sometimes what they say. When Biden came out in favor of gay marriage, it was not that popular. It was not really a good electoral thing at the time. They had to move public opinion in that direction actively. That was a choice they made at the time to push people in that direction. We've had politicians dip out and resign.
Wait. I just disagree with that. Where is your source saying that? Can you present us with a source?
Okay, so really quick.
That it was unpopular, because I think it was very popular when Biden came out. In fact, I think it was incredibly popular, and it was the politically right thing to do. And it's a perfect example of Biden switching when it's politically convenient. Hello?
It was a slight majority. It was like 52% for approval and like 40% against.
See, so I mean, like, he saw it coming, man, and I just
that's
think
a good thing,
a good middle
though.
ground is
Okay,
we
so like
have to
Donald
agree that
Trump.
politicians do have an incentive scheme that makes them
So like
like we
Donald
both
Trump
agree on
does.
that,
Okay,
right?
so like politicians can change public opinion in general and try to move public opinion in different directions as well. So like a Democrat will decide to make people more pro-gay rights, and then Trump will gain power by making people hate trans people, hate gay people, be very anti-BLM. Trump will gain power by doing things to make people
Okay,
worse
wait,
people.
I'm
Democrats
sincerely
usually
trying
have
to follow
incentives to
here.
make
That was really, really fast. Can you go back and say that again? I'm sincerely trying to follow. It was just really quick.
Democrats try to move public opinion in a way that's more accepting of like gay people, for example, and trans people. Trump tries to move people in a direction where they are afraid of gay people and trans people and immigrants because politics, if you want to say they have incentive structures,
Oh,
Democrats obviously have better
yeah.
incentives based on policies based off of the moral system than Republicans do. Republicans have a very fundamentalist view of how the world should be, and they believe in kings and dictators, and they believe more so
No,
that we
no,
should be a
no. Wait,
Christian
I don't
nation.
agree with that. I don't agree with that. I
Well,
just think
Donald
that there's
Trump is
two different
evidence of
takes
that.
there. Well, I just think, okay, well, my personal take is that there's two different takes from two different places, and they both have merit. They both do. So you have the Democrat take, which says let's improve society, let's go fast, and let's implement new and exciting things. And then you have a conservative approach, which is like, hey, let's do what's worked in the past and let's move a little bit slower. And usually they do want change, but it's at a snail's pace. And one kind of pushes the other, and the other pulls
Well,
back.
Trump's not a conservative in my
But
mind, but
yeah, he's a populist.
yeah, he's
You
a
know,
he's an ultra nationalist would be the probably place I'd put him.
no, I
hundred
mean,
percent.
I think that's slippery slope, man. That's
No,
slippery
he is
slope.
an
He
ultra
hasn't done
nationalist.
anything
Like
yet.
that's his political position. He's an ultra nationalist politically. That's MAGA. That's what MAGA is.
No, that's not true. There are actual problems, and the Democrats actually
Even Josh
made
Hawley calls himself a
errors.
nationalist. What I just said, being
But,
a nationalist does not talk about problems. I'm saying what ideology he falls under. He's a nationalist. He's not a Republican or a conservative. A
well,
populist is
can
a
I say
nationalist
why?
at that point.
Well, my friend, can I say why I think he's not a nationalist?
Why?
Well, I think he's a populist and not a nationalist, because I think that a nationalist would have to be rallying us based on a sense of national patriotism and cohesion. I don't think that's exactly what it is. I
Like
think
Trump
that
saying every day we
if
should jail people for burning
can
the
I
American
finish?
flag, right?
Can I finish?
I'm talking to someone else. This is too annoying. Someone else can call in. I can't do an hour-long conversation where we don't talk about any actual topic. It's just too much, dude. I tried sticking on one topic that entire time. I'm just not doing it. I don't deserve it. Oh. I'm not in propaganda mode. I'm in conversation mode. I don't want to have propaganda battles with someone. Like the 2000 election versus 2020 is a brain dead comparison. Like anyone who says that has a very bad framework to view the world in probably any situation. Like you fundamentally misunderstand what you see in front of you. Like you have to be very just like openly just not functioning. Someone's mad at me for using autism as an insult. Shut up. Hi. Just not functioning. Someone's mad at me for using autism as an. I'm going to bed, dude. I can't do it. Where's this?
I heard you use autism as an insult. You've taken 0 calls from women. You're using kink terms that degrade women. I'm going to report you to Google. This is Nello. I was trying to talk to you.
Hi, Jolah. I was just wanting to talk to you about just general politics. One of the main things I was wanting to talk about was this new bill that was introduced in Ohio that would overturn.
Doesn't the word cuck degrade men? Isn't that a degrading term for men,
Call
not
from
women? Hello. Howdy. Howdy. One more. I'll try one
Call-
more. I'm going to bed if it doesn't go through. Hello?
Hey, what's up? Hello?
What's up?
Everything's all good here. I'm just trying to figure out, like, hey, what's up? Hello? I'm just trying to figure out, like, what's up? Oh, sorry about that. Everything's all good here. I'm just trying to figure out, like, hey, what's up? Hello? I'm just trying to figure out, like, what's up? Oh, sorry about that. Everything's all good here. We're thinking, wanted to talk about the, what's it called, the immigration laws. We're thinking, wanted to talk about the,
Okay. No, I'm just tired now. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to bed now. My will to survive right now is waning. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Yeah, it's bedtime. It's that time of night. Nope. 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 We're going to bed. We're going to bed. We're going to bed. All right, guys. Tonight was painful. Please join Discord. Come talk to us. My Discord link is in all my video descriptions, all my stream descriptions. Hope everyone has a good night. The last caller, I don't have a good battery for dishonest people that are intentionally trying to lead me down a bad faith conversation route. It's just so tiring. And I don't want to have to re-explain my positions to someone who is baiting answers out of me. It's very exhausting, dude. After a long day of delivering packages and working and doing everything else. It's just like, dude, can't do it. Oh. Good night. Oh, I linked YouTube. Oh no. Thank you. I forgot it doesn't copy. Yep, it's bedtime. I'll be in Discord for a little bit. Here's Discord. It's in my video descriptions. Go on one of my videos. Go on the video and go in the description to the video. Alright? You'll find Discord in the description to the video. Or my stream description as well. The description to my stream, you can find it there too. This has been your best show yet? You're making jokes. The talk with the one Marine guy was pretty good. The first call was good with the Marine guy. Thank you, members. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Kelly, Teresa. I see y'all. That's high praise. No, the first call was good. It's also challenging too because I don't just want a bunch of clips of me calling Republicans stupid out there, you know. Thank you, Kate. Kate said this was the best video of all time, the best stream of all time. LOL. Yeah, that really is the thing, huh? They can't talk about any current policies. They have to just say all politicians are bad. Then they tell stories about random shit. They do name calling. They say immigrants are scary. And then when everything's debunked, they just like leave and call you the R word. Kind of how they do it. You enjoyed it, and yeah, of course you enjoyed it because I'm going through pain. 2000s, they deny the election results. It's like nice. All right. Good night. Good night, guys. Have a good night. The dumbest people are gonna believe this, by the way. A letter to the FBI. All the dumbest people on planet Earth are going to see this post. Just in a letter to the FBI, Vance Bolter claimed Governor Tim Walz instructed him to kill U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar so that Walz could run for U.S. Senate. Minnesota Star Tribune, bro. People are going to believe this because all the right-wingers, including sitting U.S. senators, said Tim Walz was behind this assassin from Minnesota. No one talked about it. No Republicans cared at all that their rhetoric inspired this attack. On Vance Bolter's list, Tim Walz was literally on the kill list. Tim Walz was on the list of this white Christian nationalist terrorist. All right, but all the dumbest people in the world are going to read this and believe it, bro. They are going to believe it uncritically because they have no actual critical thinking ability. If you believe this tweet right here, please genuinely get help. Go outside, talk to people, touch grass, go and eat grass, okay? Become a horse and eat grass. Become a whatever animal, become a little bunny rabbit, and please get close to grass. You got to go outside, bro. You are suffering from psychosis, and many people are like you. We will find you a group to go outside with, to touch grass with, because if you believe shit like this, bro, we are cooked as a country, and I don't want America to be cooked as a country, so please get some help. Anyone that believes this, it's so sad. Please get help. Well, me 22. Republicans think Tim Walz is a lying enemy to America. So, very sturdy people right there. Very sturdy people. Can you explain? There's nothing to explain. How can I explain? Republicans said the Christian nationalist shooter, the assassin, that had a list of Democrats and pro-choice advocates and abortion providers to go after. They said he is a Democrat Marxist who got his orders from Tim Walz. Okay, Democrat governor of Minnesota, to go after one of Tim Walz's friends. Multiple. The whole list. Tim Walz apparently told the killer to kill himself, to kill Tim Walz. You know? Republicans believe anything, dude. They believe literally anything. They're so gullible. Gullible Gus on steroids, bro. It's painful. Thank you for the question, though. I did explain, Stephanie. I'm being cringe because it's so annoying. It's so annoying. It's so annoying having to even have this conversation. It just... I give broke energy, all right? I do give broke energy, so I'm good. I'm good here. They did believe in Q. They did. Let's see what kind of post I retweeted recently. Let's see. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Donald Trump is such a whiny.
Intelligence you have that Iran is
Oh yeah, so they were talking to Trump and they said, "Hey, buddy, you're well." Wait, let me look at the quote again. Trump said American intelligence is wrong about Iran. Well, let's just see.
They didn't do that. What intelligence do you have that Iran is building a nuclear weapon? Your intelligence community has said they have no evidence that they are at this point.
By the way, I think the information is from Mossad, so Israel's intelligence agencies. I don't think America actually confirmed any of this.
Well, then my intelligence community is wrong. Who in the intelligence community said that? Your director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard.
The person Trump appointed.
She's wrong.
She's wrong.
They didn't do
Beautiful.
that. What intelligence do you...
Trump also said something about like it was a long time ago before we had nuclear weapons. Trump said 20 years ago when they were lying us into Iraq and Afghanistan, he said, well, that was different back then because we did not have nuclear weapons back then. And I'm like, okay. True. Very cool. Deportation Barbie. My goodness, dude.
Down on Democrats. Can you comment on that?
Well, I was hoping Jose Padilla would be
cuffed, suggesting that the Trump administration is cracking down on Democrats. Can you comment on that?
Well, I was hoping Jose Padilla would be here to ask a question.
So Alex Padilla, who is the senator from California, who ICE beat up and detained for no reason for asking a question because Trump regime is authoritarian regime. J.D. Vance purposely calls a U.S. senator Jose, because he's not white, so his name has to be Jose instead of Alex Padilla. It's really...
Well, I was hoping Jose Padilla would be here to ask a question.
This is the same guy, Alex Padilla, the senator that went to the Deportation Barbie concert and got detained and beat up by ICE. And he's like, I'm just a U.S. senator trying to ask a question to the, DHS secretary. And MAGA said he assaulted and lunged at Kristi Noem, which is crazy. And now J.D. Vance is in California and calls him Jose, because every guy who's brown is Jose to MAGA and Peter Thiel. I mean J.D. Vance. It's actually crazy though. J.D. Vance is so cringe. At least when Trump does subtle racism, there's some cleverness to it. There's some deniability. J.D. Vance is so stiff when he does it. It's not even funny. I don't care what he's referencing or what joke it's supposed to be. Like, J.D. Vance is so damn cringe in everything he does. And his creators, the AI creators, the humanoid robot J.D. Vance is not looking too good.
But unfortunately, I guess he decided not to show up because there wasn't the theater. And that's all it is. I think everybody realizes that's what this is. It's pure political theater.
It's pure political theater. Yeah, sure. The Trump admin talking about political theater when everything they do. By the way, the Trump flagpole in front of the White House they installed, can you believe that flagpole is 88 feet? Can you believe the flagpole is 88 feet? 88? Which 88 obviously is the neo-Nazi, the numbers for Hail Hitler, for HH. Like, why is that pole 88 feet exactly? It was supposed to be 100 feet. Why 88 feet? Really crazy stuff happening in MAGA world, bro. Tucker Carlson flew to Qatar to interview the Prime Minister of Qatar. The paid lobbyists who set up this interview listed Tucker as their direct contact on a FARA forum. This is how foreign propaganda gets laundered. Tucker Carlson says he didn't take money from Qatar, but he won't show us or tell us who paid for his trip to Qatar for him and his staff. You cannot trust Tucker. Now, Laura Loomer is also paid by foreign governments. It's really funny. You have Tucker Carlson going viral for talking to Ted Cruz and saying Ted Cruz is paid by a foreign government, and then Ted Cruz says Tucker Carlson is paid by Russia, and then Laura Loomer is getting paid by the same people too, but then Tucker Carlson is getting paid by Qatar as well, and then Laura Loomer's calling Tucker out, and then Tucker calls out Laura Loomer, and Candace Owens is also getting paid by a foreign government, and I'm sure China's paying someone to do something as well. So all these people are the big Spider-Man meme. When they're all pointing at each other, they're the Spider-Man meme. They're all paid by foreign governments, but they attack each other as if they are different in some sense. Really, dude, we are captured by Israel, Russia, China, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. We are captured by so many countries who are buying people left and right, buying off our politicians left and right, buying Trump coin, buying Melania coin, paying for. We're also occupied by American billionaires. It's so crazy to see these developments, and people acting like Tucker Carlson's doing a good job. No, bro, they are all hired guns. They are all hired to be propagandists. They have no principles or beliefs. You kind of like this format? What do you mean? Wait, who? What format? What are you talking about? Good job, Jolah. Good job about what? Are you still taking calls? I'll take more calls tomorrow. Your show? What do you mean? Going through Twitter and doing random reactions? More drama. Dave Smith calling out Tulsi Gabbard, calling Tulsi the Colin Powell of this administration. She knows better, but has chosen to lie through her teeth. Also getting paid by a foreign government, by the way. She's worse than the others because she spent her career pretending to be against regime change in Iran. Tulsi coming out to back up the administration. Again, they are all hired guns, so... I'm not taking calls anymore. I answered that question, buddy. It's so sad. Federal land should benefit all Americans. It does. Mike Lee, dude, I hate Mike Lee is so disgusting. He's a nepo baby asshole, dumb. Like, he's a terrible individual. He's a terrible, terrible person. It's kind of crazy. Oh, it's so sad, bro. It's so sad, bro. Look at this shit. This federal land is gonna be turned into a friggin' golf course, dude. Yeetle juice. I played that video yesterday. I'm going to bed, guys. I said I was going to bed like 20 minutes ago. Okay. I said I was going to bed. I'll be back on tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow I'll be on. Actually, I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow. Crap. I'll be back on Monday for sure. Okay. I don't know about tomorrow or Sunday. I'll be back on Monday for sure. So I showed that video. Yeetle juice. I'm just saying, yeah, there's a video of Netanyahu saying that Iran's gonna have nuclear weapons in a day or two for the past 30-something years, and people are laughing at it because they're like, hey, it seems like Netanyahu just wants to bomb Iran, which is kind of probably true in some, yeah. Okay. Night Mossad. Oh, he's getting banned. All right, good night, guys. See you another day. Appreciate it. See you in Discord. Join Discord.